1 point from their first 3 games, but they followed that with a home win against Leicester and an away point against West Ham, and now have Ian Gillard returning to their defence after missing 2 games with a gashed foot. But a late change, he's Brian Williams, formerly of Bury, at number 4, in place of John Hollins, who injured a hamstring in training yesterday. As for Manchester City, they look as though they really mean business, with Shannon, Royal, Peter Barnes and Brian Kidd, all noted attackers. Dennis Stewart, incidentally, still injured. And I think it says a lot for their defence that the club skipper, Mike Doyle, is merely the substitute. So the crowd can reasonably expect a big ration of attacking football here today in a game controlled by referee Lester Chapter, who comes from South Devon. So away we go. Queen's Park Rangers in the hoop shirts attacking the goal to our right. Manchester City in their change strip, white shirts with that diagonal band. And really, Rangers, after their better start, or their better last 2 or 3 games, a marvellous test for them today against the current league leaders. And in the crowd, in the centre of the picture there, new England manager Ron Greenwood in the spectacles, and one of the men he'll be watching, you'll be sure, is Gerry Francis. England really haven't looked quite the same without him. Francis gone on now to take this ball from Stan Bowles, turned inside again, and another England man, Dave Watson, gets it away for the throw. Masson with a throw. Williams playing it short for Bowles. Masson, Bowles. Oh, nice touch there. And Dave Clement knew it was coming, but Manchester City didn't. And Gary Owen only half gets it away. Peter Barnes. Owen hustled off that ball as well. Here's Kidd right back. Shannon beaten by the challenge of David Webb. And they're all at 6s and 7s at the moment, the First Division leaders. Here's Givens. That'll come for Gillard. Francis. Gillard. Hartford did well to close in on quickly, but Gillard had the skill and found Gerry Francis. Oh, and that was a good shot. That was dipping and swaying and swerving. And Corrigan got well behind it. Francis loves a dip from that sort of range. And Corrigan really had to watch it closely. And here's Shannon. That's not a bad looking cross by him either. Just didn't quite carry beyond Givens, and a good header by Givens for the marauding Gerry Francis now. Bowles has gone wide for him, and there's the ball for Bowles. Faced by Kenny Clement. Masson. Givens. Gillard's gone on. Bowles. Now Gillard. Onside. And Dave Watson getting in the way. Thought Webb had misjudged that, but he readjusted quickly enough. Needham. Bowles. Slipped through there for Peter Eastoe. Kenny Clements off Bowles for a City throw. Tony Book doing a lot of pointing in there. After the disappointing display against the Poles in midweek, he wanted City to keep their heads above all else and play the football they can play. Eastoe with the header. Williams fighting away in there, trying to make a few things happen, and Donachie has played it short back to Corrigan and was a little lucky before Eastoe got in there. That was a poor back pass by Willie Donachie. It was always going to fall short of Corrigan, and Eastoe is so quick, very nearly got in there to punish that mistake. Booth. Too high even for Royal. Nice bit of play there between Masson and Webb. Here's Francis. Now here's Clement. Inside for Francis. Looking up as the ball came towards him, and it'll come for Bowles, and he tried to get that between Donachie and Watson. But here's big Dave Watson. Brian Kidd. Surprisingly deep for him so far in these opening minutes. But then City really have been pushed back by Useful-looking Rangers side. Now Shannon. Good cross by him. Oh, it must be. And somehow Royal failed. Yes, he got it in there. Well, he took 2 or 3 stabs at it, and there's a much-relieved man, Joe Royal. It looked for a moment as though Phil Parkes had foiled him, but a brilliant run it was by Mike Shannon. One of his typical raiding runs, and he crossed inside, and Royal looked as though he had a goal begging at his mercy, and he really made a meal of it. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Manchester City 1. 9 minutes gone. Joe Royal the scorer. Now Bowles. Williams. Cross towards Given. I think there's some pushing there. It was saved by Corrigan and saved well, but the linesman's flag was way up before Don Given's shot. Kidd. Hartford. Clements. Gary Owen. And Clements. Royals waiting in the middle. That's the one played into space in front of Royal, and a great shot and a good save. Beautiful bit of football there by Manchester City. Getting a really generous round of applause. Kenny Clements playing one of those deadly balls into space in front of men coming forward. Royal hit it well, and Phil Parkes was equal to it. Peter Barnes with a corner for City. Clement with the header away. Barnes, Hartford, chipped in again, Masson, Owen, Clement. Hartford. That's a City throw. Peter Barnes to Asa Hartford. The little chip again towards Brian Kidd this time. And Watson. And Bowles will take it. Williams. Donaghy to Kidd. And it's Bowles for Masson. Webb. The little chip through, delightful, but it didn't quite go for Eastoe. Oh, there was a late challenge there where David Webb, in his enthusiasm, carried right through. And in fact, it's a foul by Asa Hartford. Maybe a bit of retaliation there, which was the one thing that Tony Brook didn't want his players to get involved in. It was a strong old challenge by David Webb, his enthusiasm carrying him right through. But the upshot of it all is that Q.P.R. now get a free kick. With the crowd getting behind them. And Masson behind the ball. A little chip for Williams. Played short for Bowles. And Williams hitting it low very sensibly. Jerry Francis, goal! Well, there's a conversation going on there. But there's no doubt the two people most involved in that, because when Bowles had played the ball to Williams, he very sensibly played it in low and hard across that City goal mouth, and Jerry Francis applied the finishing touch. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Manchester City 1. The man who made it, Brian Williams, with Jerry Francis, the man who scored it. And now Kidd. Inside for Donachie. Brian Kidd. Well, Hartford did well. Got it back again. Woof. Hit Shannon on the way. Looking in very lively form, Mick Shannon. Kidd. Joe Royle on the far side, always a good target, and Hartford caught it on the volley, but judgment has to be so fine with that sort of shot. Nice jump there by Easto. Nicely guided header for Masson. Nice skill by Masson. And look at this break by Williams. Is he going to make it count? Oh, and a great stop there by Corrigan. And Watson, to the relief of all City fans, had to whack that away. Precious close to his goal, but to safety for the corner. A great break there by Brian Williams, who looks a player finding his feet still in the First Division, but he knew where the goal was, and it was only the outstretched foot of Joe Corrigan that prevented Rangers getting number 2. And in the end, Watson put it away for the corner. So Bowles with this corner. Hit high again there, Masson with a header. But there was a City header that was more powerful. Gillard. Booth, in fact, was playing them all onside. And Joe Royle just got in the nick of time. Good little spell this for Rangers. Come back well from that early goal against them after 9 minutes to get the equaliser with Jerry Francis, and now pressing for one that'll put them ahead just before half-time. Bowles with the corner. Again the fist, only as far as Jerry Francis. He caught that well on the volley, and oh my word! Well, Francis's volley took a wicked deflection on the way, I think from a City player, and the bounce almost beat Joe Corrigan. Incredible when you think a few years ago, Joe Corrigan had a weight problem. He looks tremendously fit and slim at the moment. 6'4.5" of him. Givens. Francis. Playing with a lot more confidence now, Rangers. That's not a bad ball from Bowles if Gillard can get up there, which he can't. And Clements did remarkably well. No, the linesman had his flag up. The ball out of play. Gillard. Cross towards Stan Bowles. Stan having a moan at the referee that he was fouled by Willie Donachie, but the referee didn't want to know. It's going to be a throw to Rangers. Williams. And Masson dinking that in there, saying get in after that one. But it was Asa Hartford who got it away to Royle, guiding his header to Shannon. A nice pass here for Hartford. My word, Hartford's getting through some work. Now Peter Barnes. Oh, look at this for a run by Barnes. Oh, a tremendous piece of play by Peter Barnes, calling for a great save at the end by Phil Parks. What a great run by Barnes, gliding past one challenge, gliding past another, and then at the end of all, finding a tremendous shot, stopped by Phil Parks. Well, what a note to finish a sparkling first half on, with Joe Royle having put Manchester City into the lead early in the game when it looked as though he might miss a golden chance. And Jerry Francis coming back to get his second goal of the season to make it level peggings for Queen's Park Rangers. So the half-time score then here at Loftus Road is Queen's Park Rangers 1, Manchester City 1. Welcome back to Loftus Road. A half-time of 1-1 here between Manchester City and Queen's Park Rangers, and it's City who now kick off, attacking the goal to our right. It's not been their happiest ground for the last 3 or 4 years, Manchester City, since Q.P.R came back into the First Division. They've lost 3-0 here, then 2-0 here, and last season 1-0. Well, it's 1-1 at the moment, so I suppose you could say there's a slight improvement all along for them. Here's Hartford for Manchester City. Peter Barnes trying to get on the inside. Dave Clement, but it'll be a throw to Manchester City. Kidd's throw, looking for Royal. In fact, it found Royal in the end. Gary Owen playing it wide for Brian Kidd again. Clement. Well, Shannon might have got away from Webb. Givens. It's a strangely languid start to this second half. And so far as Rangers are concerned, it's a pretty mucky one. They don't seem to be able to get on the right foot at all at the moment. Another throw for Manchester City. A long cross going in, and just a little too high for Gillard and for Kidd, and Williams comes back in here now to try and retrieve the situation for Q.P.R. On for Jerry Francis. Well, he's gone fighting on there, and in the end Donaghy had to play it all the way back to Corrigan. And here's Shannon on the ball again for Manchester City, finding Barnes. Donaghy. Royal right in there with a header. Oh, and Gary Owen very nearly finished it off. The power and the danger of Joe Royal in the air were very well illustrated then. He got up so well, made almost something out of nothing, and Gary Owen was so quickly onto it, and Park saved at very close range for Q.P.R. Kidd, Shannon, Kidd again, Owen, Clements. Again, that cross going in towards Joe Royal. Phil Parkes was aware of the danger from the moment that cross started swinging in. Now it's Gibbons. Francis. Gillard. Watson's header away. Masson just touching that on for Bowles. A touch back again for Masson. Played nicely there for Eastoe. He's quick. And is he quick enough? No, he's not. Well, he got a good positive touch on it, Peter Eastoe. A lovely break by Q.P.R, and Eastoe's touch always going just that little bit wide. Williams back to Clement with a quarter of an hour of the second half gone. Here's Dave Clement. Williams again on the run. Played in early again towards Eastoe. Goal kick given. It's been kept very well in check, Peter Eastoe, former Swindon and Wolves striker. That ball is not outside the penalty area. It'll have to be taken again. Had a good run in the last 2 or 3 weeks for Manchester City as Mike Shannon. 4 goals in the last 3 games. Another one now would be invaluable for Manchester City, but instead of that it's Jerry Francis. Brought down, free kick. combination of Watson and Owen causing that free kick to be given. And they've taken it already, but not one from the right place, and two before Mr. Shapter was ready, I think. So Joe Corrigan gets that rather crowded view. 4 men in the city wall. I can't imagine that they will try anything until they get a little closer in, although Dave Clement has a bit of a whack on him. Jerry Francis turning it back in again. Clement had gone right forward, and Tommy Booth thought that was the safest thing to do. So another corner for Rangers. Stan Bowles with this corner. Curled in once more. Needham with a header. Joe Corrigan not happy with the cover. Good swinging corner again from Stan Bowles. Dave Needham up well, and Corrigan just getting a fingertips to do the work for City. So Don Masson will take it from this side. Dave Needham stays up there. But it was the City heads who got there. Eastoe looking for it to come to the ground. And Watson, who came out and asserted himself very quickly. Now, can Masson pull this one back? That's a good cross as well. But it was Royal who got the header that time. Oh, the feet were high by Gary Owen on Jerry Francis. Goodness knows Jerry Francis has had enough problems with injury. That long struggle with a back injury, and then this season with a hamstring. In fact, he said to me before the start, if you'd been here earlier, you'd have got odds on me finishing the game if you'd gone to the local bookie. Well, he's looked in fairly sprightly form, though, so far. He scored Rangers' goal in number 8. And now from this free kick, he's having this conversation with Don Masson to see whether they can add to it. Now, Francis is going to see what he can do in that wall. It's an old trick he's tried before. There he is. What will they produce? Stan Bowles with the shot, in fact, going a long way through, and Joe Corrigan behind it. Jerry Francis. Oh, that was a wild challenge again by Dave Clement. On Gary Owen. And Peter Eastoe's coming off. And Ron Abbott coming on in the last 11 minutes for Q.P.R. Some deep conversation there. John Collins on the right, used to be at Fulham and at Watford. Frank Sibley and Roy Francis, of course, Jerry Francis' father, on the left. Abbott stretching out. The ball breaking there for Hartford. Bowles couldn't get it back. And Hartford's played it back for Williams. And he very nearly got in there. Crossed in once more towards Masson, and Hartford, who caused the flutters in the first place, is the man who thankfully hooks it away. Now Shannon. And Clement timing the moment when he would turn it into touch to stop that Manchester City number 8. We're into injury time. Webb hooking it away. Booth up again so well. Kidd to Watson. To Watson again. I hope he doesn't play it back. They've been positive for so long, and well, it makes little odds in any case. The final whistle has gone. A disappointing second half after such a good first one. And Manchester City coming with men determined to attack, and they really played a full part in a brilliant first half when Joe Royle put Manchester City ahead and Jerry Francis got an equaliser for Queen's Park Rangers. So we have a final scoreline then at Loftus Road. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Manchester City 1.